Well, Nadia, before we do the tidbits, we have a viewer question, and why don't we take that now?
Okay. This question is from Christina in Fairfield. She writes, I have been waiting for the market to bottom out before purchasing a home. Is 2011 the year to buy?
That's a very good question, and I think it's something that a lot of people are wondering because everybody has heard the strategy of Donald Trump, buy low and
sell high.
and that's the objective all the time. But sometimes you're never going to know when that bottom hits. You know, if you think you're at the bottom, you're not quite there yet, and so you play into a little bit of risk there because as interest rates are low as they are right now, it's an absolute great time to buy. As prices have also somewhat stabilized in the area, the combination of both of those makes it a very good time to buy. However, what ends up happening is as you begin to weigh both of those, you then think about the foreclosures that are still happening now, probably will still happen for the next 18 months, 24 months. We do still have heavy activity that's expected in the foreclosure market. So there may be some properties that come on and then change the dynamics of pricing in some of the neighborhoods a little bit, but it's not expected to fluctuate quite as much.
So if I'm a buyer and I'm planning on actually buying, not primarily to invest, but to live in the home, so say I want to stay in the home for 5 years,
Yes.
should I hold off, wait to buy to 2012? Or do you think that getting in now
No,
where you
it's
know that there are lower interest rates and low house prices, that makes sense?
Yeah, unless you're a gambler and you're playing in Vegas, the time to purchase would definitely be now, because you know what the rates are and you know the pricing right now is stabilized, and so that would definitely be the way to go. Because if you're in there over a 5-year period, all the national talk is that we'll be out of this recovery that we're in, you know, the stretch for the recovery that we're in, and will be more stabilized within the next 5 years. And so if you purchase today and you're going to live in that home, most likely in 5 years you're going to see a higher value in that home.
Okay, Christina, I hope that helps answer your question. Now let's do a couple of tidbits before we say goodbye. Carl, I have one for you.
Okay.
Trulia, it's a real estate search engine, just released an index that actually shows that 72% of the 50 major cities in the U.S., today it is cheaper to buy than to rent. Sacramento is among the 10 places in these cities where it's definitely a lot cheaper to buy than it is to rent. On the other hand, San Francisco is still one of those cities where it's actually cheaper to rent than to buy.
Yeah, San Francisco's always on the higher end of pricing in the U.S.
Yeah.
So that can definitely happen.
Do you have a tidbit for me?
Well, one of the great things that happened last year is we actually had an increase in the median home price in the Fairfield, Solano County area. Okay, even though less homes were sold, we had the prices jump from around $202,000 up to about $216,000.
Ooh, so we're back to that gamble. Don't
Yeah.
know if the market has bottomed out or
Right.
not, but there was actually an increase from last
yes.
year to this year.
Yeah,
That's
not
an
as many
interesting
sales,
point.
but definitely an increase,
That's
and we would
interesting.
expect to see that potentially happen again this year.
Okay. That's it for us today from Real Estate Rendezvous. If you would like us to feature your neighborhood, if you have a question for us, or if you would like to be a guest on the show as a guest buyer, guest seller, or a guest real estate professional like we had Joanne Caesar from Umpqua Bank today, you can call us at 707-422-9300 or send us an email at contact@realestaterendezvous.com.
Thanks so much for joining us on Real Estate Rendezvous. We're coming to your neighborhood soon.
See you next time.